Alright, you guys, Street Fighter 6 is finally here, and this is one of my most highly anticipated games of the year. I've been super excited since I saw that initial trailer, and I've been hooked to every news, every little piece of gameplay, everything that's released since then, and now we are finally here. The game, if you guys don't know, Street Fighter 6 launches physically and officially today, but it also launched last night digitally, and I've been playing it non-stop since 9 o'clock last night, my time. So to get a hint of how long I've played, started at 9 o'clock my time, and I didn't stop till like 2:30 in the morning. It was just bonkers, crazy fun, and I just been having a blast with this game. If you guys haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. I highly recommend it. But this isn't a review. This isn't an analytical anything like that. This is just my first impressions with the game, what I gathered from a couple hours. If you guys enjoy this type of video, do me a favor and consider subscribing. Please like the video if you guys like this specific video, and let's hop into this. So this isn't technically my first impressions, as I played a couple of the betas, I played the demo. So this is more like my first impressions of the full complete package. And even then, I've put in so much hours already, and there's still so much I have yet to touch or see. But overall, what I gathered, I played the online, I played couch multiplayer, and then I also played like the world tour with my wife. And we just had an amazing time playing this game. From the different characters to the bevy of different mechanics. Everything in this game is a huge step up from Street Fighter 5. Not even just Street Fighters, I think as a franchise. Fighting games in general have leveled up with Street Fighter 6 alone. Street Fighter 6 has now set the bar so ridiculously high. I don't think other fighting games are going to even be allowed to produce just a regular fighting game anymore. I feel like similar to what Mortal Kombat 9 did to like adding a story mode, etc. I feel like Street Fighter 6 didn't really meet him at like the whole story mode level. I will get into that a little bit more later. But as far as just like gameplay and mechanics and keeping things like fresh and vibrant, Street Fighter 6 is like the freshest feeling fighting game I felt ever. Alright, let's start talking about what I played. So, Street Fighter 6 online so far has been very, very well. There hasn't really been a lot of lags or dropped matches or anything like that. I do notice sometimes there is a little bit of a wait in between matches, but I think that is definitely because of the lobby sizes. So you have a different choices of how you want to search for online matches. You have the lobby where you can just hop into like a lobby similar to like a Guilty Gear or like a Dragon Ball Fighters, where they have like this, you create your avatar and you kind of walk around and look for fights that way. Or in like the Battle Hub menu, no, sorry, not the Battle Hub, the Fighting Grounds menu, there is an option to just like search for matches in the menu. And I found that that worked a little bit faster as far as ranked. As far as casual, I felt like it was a lot funner to find matches in the actual Battle Hub lobby, where you kind of have everyone's characters and everyone just kind of hanging out and having fun. And it feels very much more like a party than it does like a game. It feels like if anyone's ever played like PlayStation Home or anything, or any of those kind of like meta meetup kind of virtual reality things, it feels like that. You create your own avatar and you kind of gather around this big old lobby, and they have a bunch of arcade cabinets. They have like in the center they have other people fighting with their avatars. It was very fun to like watch other people's characters, to watch like the little message board. There's like a little message community chat that everyone can kind of just communicate with each other, or you can directly message a specific person, and it felt very much more personal than like just the actual menu of waiting inside a menu. But if you want to just get in matches faster and you don't really care about the whole social part of it, they do have that option for you, and I thought that was a great touch. Alright, let's talk about the meat and potatoes, the reason why people play fighting games, and that's the actual one-to-one combat between another live human being. And man, Street Fighter 6 is competitive as all heck. I have so much fun. I feel like so much pressure, and I feel like I care about this. I care about ranking up, and I care about kind of learning the game, and it's been a really long time since I've felt that in a fighting game, and this was just such a refreshing feeling to have this area, this time where everyone is kind of learning together and making the same mistakes, and it kind of feels very communal, and I feel like that's what fighting games is about. The FGC exists for a reason. Fighting games exist only because the communities allow them to, and this is a great example and a time and an era of fighting games where we all can kind of hop in and be new to this credit all of this to the refreshing, brand new mechanics that Street Fighters has implemented into Street Fighter 6 with like the drive system, not even just the drive system, because I feel like the drive system is a very universal move set that is very interesting and fun on its own. But when you actually break down each individual characters and the fact that each of them kind of fill a very specific purpose in this game and none of them play at all like the other. Even like Ryu and Ken, who are typically the most identical characters, granted they have separated in their time before, have never been this far apart in a fighting game before, I think. You have characters like Manon and Lily and Zangief, who are all grapplers, but very different types of grapplers who have different strategies. And it's just very interesting and very fun to kind of see when you hop into a new match with somebody and see, all right, how well do they know this game? Which brings us to our next point, and that's the whole casual nature of Street Fighter 6. I feel like aside from like the whole social hub and the whole like getting better mechanics, the modern mode, etc., they implemented the World Tour mode, which is very interesting, I think. This is an open world RPG in Street Fighter 6 where you kind of create your own character, you get trained by Luke, and then afterwards you kind of get let out into the city of Metroid City, and you get like tasked with finding different masters from like Chun-Li to Ken, and you're kind of gold with like figuring out what each character is, how they play, etc., and learning their styles. That way you can kind of learn your own way of fighting. This is a very interesting, very long tutorial, I think. This is a great way to kind of bring new players in, create their own characters, and then learn every different kind of moveset from all the different characters in the game, and kind of see who they gravitate towards themselves. I think it's really good for the casual audience. It is really entertaining for like people who have been playing fighting games for a while. I will say if you have even like moderate skills at it, it does run a little long and it is a little, I don't want to say boring because it's fun and it's colorful, but some of the fights, I was wondering whether the levels on their heads actually meant anything, because I would fight someone that's like level 10 and they felt like the same like level that someone at level 8 was, just it maybe took a little longer to kill them, but they weren't really using any kind of strategies, any kind of like fancy AI or anything. It was very simple, and granted this is very early on, but I do think it is a good stepping stone to kind of bridge casual to like the more technical, to like introduce them to like what fighting games are and what makes these games so special. I am very interested to see how well World Tour Mode can actually train people who never really played fighting games or aren't really that big into like the huge meta of it, and seeing if they can take that knowledge that they learned from after doing World Tour and apply it to like maybe ranked or something. It's just gonna be very interesting to see like the whole evolution of this new way that Street Fighters is trying to bridge people in. Overall, my impression of Street Fighter 6 has been fantastic. I freaking love this game so far. I think there's something there for everybody. And if you've never really played fighting games, or if you've been kind of hesitant, I promise you this game is a great way to ease yourself in. Not to just Street Fighters, but to like all fighting games. So I'm going to leave my first impressions with that. I'll see you guys on the next video.